None of the content presented here has been exaggerated or misrepresented. These are direct statements made in federal court on May 14, 2025, by both the prosecution and Cassie Ventura. Some terms have been redacted to comply with platform guidelines and content standards. Prosecutor: Ms. Ventura, I've handed you 2 drives. What do they contain? Cassie Ventura: GX8 contains messages and photos retrieved from my personal devices. Prosecutor: Yesterday you testified that Sean went armed to look for Suga Knight. Did he have weapons? Ventura: Yes, he took firearms with him and told me to ask the escorts whether they were undercover officers. Prosecutor: Did he instruct you to ask if they were law enforcement? Ventura: Yes, I began interactions by stating that I was not a cop. Prosecutor: What happened if you resisted or fought back? Ventura: Earlier in the relationship, I resisted more. That only escalated his violence. He would become enraged, push harder. At this point, the defense objected, citing speculation. The judge overruled the objection. Prosecutor: Describe his reaction when you pushed back. Ventura: Anger. Every time it triggered more aggression. Prosecutor: We're now reviewing footage from the Intercontinental Hotel hallway. Play from 143 to 146. Who enters? Ventura: Sean. Prosecutor: Is he holding anything? Ventura: At that moment, no. His hands are empty. Prosecutor: Advance to 159. Now what is he holding? Ventura: My phone. Prosecutor: How did he obtain it? Ventura: He took all of my personal belongings. Prosecutor: Where does he go? Ventura: He sits in a chair near the window. Prosecutor: What are you doing at that time? Ventura: I walk away from him. Prosecutor: Who else appears in the footage? Ventura: Me and security personnel. Prosecutor: Where did you go after leaving the hotel? Ventura: I took an Uber to get away. Prosecutor: Now let's examine the text messages. Can you read from page 4? Ventura: Please call. I'm surrounded. Prosecutor: Who sent that message? Ventura: Sean. He was moving around the residence in a towel. I asked him to put on his robe. Prosecutor: And these messages in green? Ventura: I sent them. I wrote, Jules left. As long as you're quiet, you can stay. Peace. Dot. Prosecutor: Who is Jules? Ventura: An escort. Prosecutor: Is this image of Jules? Ventura: Yes, it is. Prosecutor: Let's look at exhibits B606 and B607 side by side. Can you confirm what's shown? Cassie Ventura: That's a selfie of me. My lip was swollen from an injury. Prosecutor: When did you take the photo? Ventura: In an Uber using one of my personal phones. Prosecutor: What did you write along with the photo? Ventura: Please stay away from me. Prosecutor: And what did Sean respond? Ventura: I'm getting arrested, he texted. Prosecutor: Was he actually arrested at that time? Ventura: I don't believe so. Prosecutor: How did you reply? Ventura: Plugging my phone in and going to bed. Prosecutor: Who was at your apartment when you arrived? Ventura: Carrie Morgan. She became upset after seeing me and called the police. Prosecutor: Did you speak with responding officers? Ventura: Yes, but I didn't disclose who was involved. They eventually left. Prosecutor: Why didn't you tell them more? Ventura: I wasn't ready to speak. I didn't feel prepared. Prosecutor: Did Sean attempt to visit your apartment afterward? Ventura: Yes, he was banging on the door. It was not uncommon, but this was a private building. Prosecutor: Did you hear from Miss Courtroom that same day? Ventura: Yes, later I visited D-Rock and his wife seeking safety. Prosecutor: In this image, what are you wearing? Ventura: A gown and sunglasses. I had a visible black eye. Prosecutor: Was there any additional bruising or physical injury? Ventura: Yes, I had several visible marks on my leg. I changed clothes. Prosecutor: What's this photo of? Ventura: Sean and me at an after-party event. Prosecutor, I'm going to show you a set of escort photos. Do you recognize this person? Ventura, no, I don't know his name. Prosecutor, in which cities was he used? Ventura, New York. Prosecutor, and this individual? Ventura, he went by Islander. He was on Latin Men. We used him in Los Angeles and possibly Las Vegas. Prosecutor, next, this one labeled 2A616. Ventura, we called him Tommy. Prosecutor, this man? Ventura, he was known to me as Greg, an escort in Miami. Prosecutor, and here? Ventura, his name was Jonathan. We also saw him in Miami. Prosecutor, this person in the red baseball cap worn backwards? Ventura, he looks familiar from the freak-offs, but I don't know his name. Prosecutor, what did you write in this message? Ventura, this is all we do. I'm just getting back on track. I'm sure you can call Kim or something. Prosecutor, what did you mean by this is all we do? Ventura, referring to freak-offs? That's what our time revolved around. Prosecutor, did you try to avoid anything during those encounters? Ventura, yes, I tried to avoid kissing. It felt too intimate. Prosecutor, what did Sean instruct regarding that? Ventura, he told me to kiss the escorts. He demanded it regularly. Prosecutor, what did Sean instruct you to do on your 29th birthday? Cassie Ventura, he arranged a freak-off. Security pulled me out a blind dragon for it. Prosecutor, did he ever discuss blackmail material with you? Ventura, yes, he wanted me to live in fear, constantly intimidated. Defense objected at this point, but the objection was overruled by the judge. Prosecutor, when would Sean bring up the freak-off videos? Ventura, when he wanted control. Once when I was dating someone else, he threatened to release the videos. He said I'd have to explain them to my mother. It was disgusting. Prosecutor, what did he say the impact would be? Ventura, shame, public humiliation. That was his method of manipulation. Prosecutor, let's review a chat. Who is part of it? Ventura, Sean and me. Dated July 22nd, 2013. Prosecutor, read your message out loud. Ventura, please delete the videos off your phone. Too many people have access to your devices. He responded, no iCloud, all good. Ambient kicking in. Prosecution then requested a sidebar. Judge called for a short break to adjust courtroom settings. During the break, Sean Combs was observed speaking quietly with defense attorney Xavier Donaldson. Once the jury and witness returned, the proceedings resumed. Prosecutor, I'd like to introduce additional exhibits. What is this message about? Ventura, I was told there was an explicit video of me circulating. I contacted Sean. Prosecutor, what happened next? Ventura, we drove from Atlantic City to New York to meet with DJ Who Kid. Prosecutor, was that meeting held at a restaurant? Ventura, yes. Prosecutor, what was the role of security during that encounter? Ventura, they stood by silently, clearly there to intimidate everyone present. Prosecutor, who was present at the meeting? Ventura, Uncle Paulie, James Cruz, and others from Sean's team. Prosecutor, how would you physically recover after a freak off? Ventura, I would take medication to feel numb. Then massages, IV fluids, and meals prepared by Sean's chef. Prosecutor, how often did you take medication after freak-offs? Ventura, frequently. I suffered from recurrent urinary tract infections. Prosecutor, were the UTIs painful? Ventura, yes. At one point, antibiotics stopped working. Prosecutor, describe how you felt during those encounters. Ventura, it burned. I would never recommend that kind of suffering. Prosecutor, please read this message aloud. Ventura, I have sores on my tongue and another UTI. Prosecutor, sores? Ventura, friction in my mouth caused by repeated oral activity. Prosecutor, you said another UTI, how did you feel? Ventura: sick, but I still apologized like it was my fault. Prosecutor: which escort accompanied you and Sean to strip clubs? Ventura: Jules, the same escort from the Intercontinental Hotel in Los Angeles. Prosecutor: did you ever want to be intimate with Jules? Ventura: no, but I knew him. I complied because Sean insisted. Prosecutor: was anyone else present when Sean assaulted you during these encounters? Ventura: yes, sometimes Jules or another escort was in the room. Prosecutor: inside the same suite? Ventura: yes. Prosecutor: were those escorts aware of what happened? Defense objected again. Overruled. Ventura: yes. Some asked if I was okay afterward. Prosecutor: in which cities did Sean physically assault you? Ventura: New York, Los Angeles, and Miami. Prosecutor: how frequently? Ventura: far too often it became a regular occurrence. Prosecutor: what is the Abbey? Ventura: a gay club in Los Angeles. I visited with a friend. Prosecutor: where were you headed at that time? Witness: to a music festival in Canada organized by Drake. Sean came to my residence and attempted to attack me. I was violently thrown into the bed frame. Prosecutor: what is this image? Witness: a photograph of my injured eye taken afterward. Prosecutor: who took you to receive medical attention? Witness: D-Rock did. Prosecutor: did you send this photo to Sean? Witness: yes, I included a message. So, you can remember. I hoped it might make him feel remorseful about the incident. Prosecutor: in this photograph, where were you located? Witness: inside the green room in Toronto. I styled my hair to cover the injury. After that, we traveled to the Hamptons. Sean arranged another freak off there. We booked a hotel and brought in an escort. Prosecutor: which escort? Witness: Dave. I had taken GBI. I slipped into a G-hole and blacked out. When I came to, I was in the shower. Both Dave and Sean appeared extremely panicked. I completely lost control. It wasn't a pretty scene. Prosecutor: what happened next? Witness: I had a conversation with one of Sean's associates, and then we had another freak off immediately afterward. Prosecutor: what does this photo show? Witness: my eyebrow partially healed. This was taken about a week later. I now have a permanent scar in that area. Prosecutor: what about this image? Witness: that was taken at the Cannes Festival. Prosecutor: what occurred while in Cannes? Witness: Sean accused me of stealing from his yacht. He threw me off, but my passport remained on board. Prosecutor: and you were on the red carpet later that night? Witness: yes, I still made the appearance. Prosecutor: did you attend the film screening? Witness: yes, I did. Prosecutor: how did you return to New York? Witness: on a commercial flight. I switched my seat to distance myself, but he also switched to sit beside me. Prosecutor: what did he show you during the flight? Witness: he played freak-off videos on one of his laptops. He threatened to release them. Prosecutor: how did that make you feel? Witness: completely trapped, isolated, and helpless. Prosecutor: after landing in New York, what happened? Witness: we went to a dinner. Afterwards, he insisted on having another freak-off, so it happened. Prosecutor: why did you go along with it? Witness: to prevent him from becoming violent or physically aggressive toward me. Prosecutor: let's read this message from June 13th, 2013. Had he ever been violent with you before that date? Witness: yes. On multiple occasions, it was a repeated pattern of abuse. What brought the incident to an end? D-Rock and James Cruz entered the room. D-Rock appeared deeply affected. What are these communications? Messages sent from D-Rock asking, "Where you at? It's time to ice your face." Why? Because of a physical assault by Sean that had just occurred. Were these the only instances of physical violence? No, there were others. The witness stated having seen Sean drag an assistant from bed, punch someone named Eli in the head during a trip to Turks and Caicos, and pull another individual back from a balcony before slamming them onto patio furniture. Carrie Morgan was also struck in the head by Sean, according to the testimony. Did the witness obtain drugs independently? Occasionally, through street-level dealers, but often, Sean allegedly placed pills in a vitamin C bottle. Prescriptions were also reportedly written by doctors under aliases or in the assistant's name. What occurred at the witness's brother's birthday in 2013? A confrontation led the witness to physically assault someone taking photos. By 2018, how was the witness's mental health? They experienced PTSD and episodes of sleepwalking. A photo of the witness's front door was shown with a knife lodged in it, allegedly placed as protection from Sean's repeated uninvited visits. What happened in August 2018? During a closure meeting in Malibu, Sean allegedly forced his way into the witness's home and committed rape. The incident was described in detail. His eyes, the force, the lack of emotion. It was described as a theft of autonomy. What was Sean's reaction afterward? He allegedly completed the act, then left immediately. Was there further sexual contact afterward? Yes, reportedly consensual. The witness said they returned for one final evening and described the complex emotional history behind it, noting their 10-year relationship. Was there communication with Sean after that? Yes, including texts from Sean claiming he had iPads with images, demanding reimbursement for hiring the witness's husband as a trainer. What was the response? The witness texted, "Do you want me to tell the truth?" and referenced deeper trauma, freak-offs, and a suicide attempt that was stopped by their husband. They also disclosed that they began trauma therapy. Was a book written? Yes. The witness's mother helped write chapters. The intention was for Sean to read it. They attempted to share it through an attorney and an intermediary named KK, who said it wasn't taken seriously. How much was the book offered for? $30 million. The lawsuit followed in November 2023 and was settled in 24 hours for $20 million. Why did the witness decide to testify? They said, "I can't carry this anymore. What's wrong is wrong." The witness admitted to treating people, including escorts, like they were disposable and took accountability for past actions shaped by manipulation. How many freak-offs occurred? Hundreds, according to the testimony. Since ending the relationship with Sean, no further freak-offs occurred. At this point, the prosecution requested a sidebar before cross-examination. After brief discussion, the judge proposed continuing the next day. The defense stated that cross-examination would conclude by the end of the week. The session then adjourned for the day. This concluded day 2 of Cassie Ventura's federal testimony. What impact will it have on the outcome of this landmark trial? Stay tuned for more updates, and don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications for full coverage of the case as it unfolds.